I think we can switch gears for a second and talk about something I know you're passionate about and have a lot of expertise, and that is hormones.
Yeah.
And particularly, as we say, we're having the menopause moment for sure, where there's a lot of focus on menopausal hormone replacement therapy. So, in the skin, of course, we know how important it is for collagen and how that drop in estrogen we see in perimenopause influences the extracellular matrix, and not in a good way, of course. We lose lots of collagen during that time of life. So, talk about how you use HRT in your longevity
Yeah,
protocols.
yeah. Well, HRT is so important. I'm so glad that we're returning to the light in terms of
Yes,
HRT
yay.
after decades. And the basics for folks who haven't dug into it basically is that, estrogen in particular is extremely helpful for all aspects of our health span. So from bone health to our, like everything, our heart health, our vascular health, particularly in the skin, like you mentioned, it's the receptors are there in every sort of connective tissue, skin tissue, hair tissue, and it supports the collagen production, the hyaluronic acid synthesis, the thickness of our skin, hydration, elasticity. Basically, that's why when you're going through perimenopause, unfortunately, all of the skin changes look like quick aging, fast aging, and so I for your skin and for the rest of your health, I do think it's really important for folks, women, to undergo hormone therapy, proactively, not before you need it, but as soon as you do. And that may be in your 40s. Some people are entering much earlier. I've seen quite a few patients, and I've discussed this with colleagues who are more in the REI space. There's a lot more premature ovarian insufficiency these days. It's a bit mysterious as to why we all think it might be endocrine disruptors in the environment, but we don't have hard evidence yet. But it is definitely clear that there's just more POI. So people are experiencing perimenopausal symptoms and changes far earlier than you might expect. So rather than just waiting until you're around 48, you might need to investigate what's happening in terms of your menstrual cycles, your symptoms, even in, say, your late 30s. I've had patients, unfortunately, even in their 20s, who, for some mysterious reason, undergo this perimenopausal shift. And so as soon as that happens, you want to get on top of the HRT, and that's estrogen and the progesterone. Progesterone is important to help balance out the changes to your uterus when you're on estrogen, particularly, and it definitely helps. I will just bring up, because people are going to see this a lot, for the skin topical solutions, people
Yes.
often use estriol, which
Hmm.
is a version of estrogen that is simply less systemically active. It's just weaker, you can think about it. And the reason we do that isn't because it's harmful to use the estradiol. We use estradiol topically all the time. It's just that
Right.
it may confuse the picture. Say you want to raise your systemic levels of estrogen with estradiol, so you use that as a lever, whereas estriol, it's just there on your skin. It's not really confusing the picture of how it's impacting your systemic levels.
Got it. That makes total sense. Yeah, it's becoming quite popular, and a lot of patients are asking about it. So it's big
Mhm.
on social media. A
Yeah.
lot of the data is kind of old, quite frankly, on topical estrogen. So there's not a
Mhm.
lot of new, really good studies looking at the differences between the two and the like. But
Yeah.
more to come on that for sure.